Okay, good night. This night I will talk about climate changes and how does it affect modern agriculture and some ways about how to mitigate these changes that the climate make on our crops or how to prevent more climate um, changes in this world. First of all, climate changes are a theme that have been a very important issue in the world because since years ago we have a lot of pollution that affect our climates. And what do we get by affecting our climates? Okay, an effect or changes in climate may cause uh, destructions, natural disasters. Inclusive climate changes cause losing crops. And what happens if we lose crops? We lose money. And this world needs of agriculture to survive, to provide food for people. Okay, but how do we pollute or how do we get to these climate changes? Well, everything becomes about contamination. Contamination, it affects us even by throwing a little piece of paper in the street. Okay, and everything, each little piece of trash or any kind of trash makes part in pollution, and everything changes our climate changes. Okay, and what climate changes can we have? Sometimes we may have droughts, sometimes we may have a lot of rain, and other times we just have an inconsistency of climate changes. But what about our crops? Some people, like farmers who don't have so many sources to produce, they use the climate in order to produce their crops. They use the climate stations, the winter stations to plant their seeds, and they use the water from the rain in order to irrigate their crops. But what about if that water does not come at the time they waited or they're expecting it? Their crops may enter in an hydric stress and they may cause a loss of time in their crops. They may not be on time for the time that they want them. So it's been a very large and very complicated theme around the world that now it's causing a lot of polemic because it's very hard to control it right now that it's so advanced. Okay, and what about some ways to mitigate these pollution problems or climate changes? There are many ways to prevent, stop contaminating, or to help to reduce the impact of it. One way could be like energy sources, looking for natural resources to create energy, like sun, like solar panels. The solar panels work with the sun with the UV rays. So in the way that UV rays go into the panels, they create energy into electric energy. And instead of using fossil diesels to create energy, we can use the natural UV rays to create that electrical energy. Another way may be like decomposers. All the agriculture or raising cattle creates a lot of contamination with methane gas. Okay, what can we do with all the methane gas that these cattle produce? Okay, we could use a decomposer like a closed camera, and that produces the gases. So those gases we can use them like a fuel, a natural fuel, and so that fuel we won't pollute by creating more fuels from other sources that will contaminate it more. And another way to mitigate these diseases or these pollution problems can be like using organic or natural products to use or to fertilize our crops. And how? By using organic products, we won't be applying chemicals to the soil, and so the soil doesn't deteriorate so fast, and we don't get like in certain time loss of the soil properties. These are some ways of how to mitigate and how it is affecting our crops. Thanks.